All right. So if it comes up on your page, well, it's trying to go live.
Meeting is now streaming live. Yes, we are live.
Yeah. So let's get started. I'm gonna let you start, Tamika.
You can let me start. Okay. Well, hello, Facebook. Welcome to 411 Entertainment Spotlight. I'm Tamika V. I'm the co host, and here's our host, Mr. Cedric Lyons. And we are so excited to have joining us this evening. Oh my goodness, you guys, the incomparable her voice is amazing.
Thank you.
Her songs going on, her album Set Apart is just completely off the chain. Everybody help me welcome Lala Musiq.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
I, w-
you.
I wish I had the clap
I
soundtrack.
know we have the clapping thing going on.
We got it. We got it.
We got it right here.
I'm, I'm, I'm gonna get the clap soundtrack one day.
How are you doing, Lala?
Doing wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you all for having me this evening. I am super excited to be able to hang out with you guys for a while.
This is really exciting. You are beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
So, I'm sorry. I'm just like when I saw you, I was just like, oh, the girl, she is working this head wrap. Everything is going. Hey, okay. Should have told me. I would have worn mine, but no.
It's all good.
Okay, we'll have to coordinate next time.
That's right. We'll do it next time.
Okay, so tell us. Let's just go ahead and just jump into this interview.
Okay.
Who is Lala Musiq?
Yeah, so Lala Musiq is a Southern girl who enjoys singing for Christ. I've been writing and singing since I was very young, singing choirs, choir directing, doing all that stuff that you would typically see, right? But I'm also a mom. I'm the wife of a pastor. Shout out to my husband, Pastor Johnny, with the Multitude of Christ Ministry. Had to go ahead and put that shameless plug in there.
Okay.
Again, a mom, businesswoman. I try to embody walking in righteousness. I think that's, if you think about Lala Musiq, that's what you hear. Anytime you play any of my music, it's uplifting. It's really just trying to connect with the people and really allowing them to see some light, some positivity in a world of darkness. So that's me in a nutshell.
I watched your video and I was just blown away by the video and how it kind of you see the negative impact in the beginning and then you see it rewind to what it actually could be. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so good. And then I was thinking, oh my God, where was I? I should have been at that shoot. You should
have been at the shoot.
I'm going to be at the next one.
All right. Yes, that's my newest video, Be Like You. Be Like You.
Be Like You.
In April, yes.
Okay. That was absolutely, look, you guys have got to get her music. And we will make sure everybody knows exactly where her music can be reached and be purchased. It is off the chain. You have like a neo soul gospel vibe.
Yes.
Going on.
Exactly. Like I said, I'm a Southern girl. I love singing. I hit the runs. I can bring it in. I'm very versatile in my sound and music. I give a lot of credit to my producer, Silver Dollar Beats. That is my guy. We like yin and yang. So he totally gets me, my style. I try to be different from everybody else. Hence the reason why my first album is titled Set Apart. I just gospel, definitely influenced, R&B definitely influenced my upbringing and how I grew up singing and listening to different artists, different genres. So I think you hit it right on the head with what you said earlier.
And you were born in Shelby, Mississippi.
Yes, I am from the South.
but raised in Oklahoma City.
Yes, that's right. So shout out to all my OKC peeps out there. Also my high school, Westmore High School, my college, University of OU, Boomer Sooners. So grew up in Oklahoma, raised there. Like I said, that's where I got my humble beginnings as far as singing and really learning about music and how to write. So I enjoy being in the South. I had a stint in St. Louis, so I'll give a shout out to my peeps in St. Louis too. I was there for a little bit, but love being in the South. That's just me. Everybody's so sweet, nice, and just very gentleman-like and ladylike. And I think that's what I appreciate about being in the South.
Okay, I love that. I think that is one thing I love about being, especially being a female. Yes. I know, Cedric, you're a gentleman, but being a female in the South, there's certain qualities and stuff that we as Southern girls.
That's right.
Yes, that's a different type of Southern girl is a different type of girl.
That's right.
That's-
You say you grew up in Oklahoma,
hmm
OKC?
Yep.
What
Okay.
part?
See. Okay. See, on the southwest side.
What part of Oklahoma?
I'm sorry. What was that?
I mean, like what city?
Oh, Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Yep.
My wife is from Muskogee.
I'm very familiar. I know where that's at. Some of my God family, they're from Muskogee, so we used to take trips up there all the time.
Yeah, and her dad is in OKC right now.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I love Oklahoma City. Great place to raise kids and grow up. So I
Matter of fact,
definitely
I've,
enjoyed it.
he's a
I've never been there.
Midwest citizen.
Oh,
You
it's
ain't
a
miss.
way different from when I grew up,
You,
obviously. But yeah, they've got a lot more to
you
see now versus
you're not
back in the
you're not
day.
missing anything. You're not missing anything. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm
Definitely
not.
love Dallas. Definitely love Dallas.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. So
Now,
when
it
you
was the music that brought you to Dallas.
Yes, yes, music and just opportunities professionally that brought me to Dallas. I've actually been here for a little over 10, actually 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. So got humble beginnings starting off at my church that we originally at, which was the Israel of God, which is
Mhm.
in South Dallas. Wrote all the songs for the choir, was a part of the choir. And then when my husband branched off to start his own ministry back in February of 2018, that's when I took my leap of faith as he kind of nudged me to get out there and do it professionally, and here we are today.
Wow. And that's amazing. I know one thing I noticed is something is happening this year.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us what's happening in August of 2020?
Yes, yes. So I was nominated by the International Singer-Songwriter Association for 3 awards. So I'm super excited about that.
wow,
Yes,
congratulations.
yes, coming straight out the gate.
Yep.
Okay.
I definitely want to give the Most High all praise and glory because through Him all these things happen. But yeah, for me to be a new artist in the industry and to have this literally happening within 12 months of me dropping my album is truly amazing, and I definitely thank God for that.
Well, do me a favor. Talk to us about the first song you ever wrote.
Oh man. Let's see here. Let me see if I can go back. Let's see. So it's kind of funny. It was actually, I've written a few, but I'll tie it more back into kind of my choir days when I was with the Israel of God. So one of the songs that I was challenged to write was a song that was titled He's Our Redeemer. And
Okay.
so, my choir director, she said, hey, and her name is Gina. She said, hey, I got these scriptures. See what you can do with it. And at that point, I was still a little shy. A lot of people didn't even know I could sing, but I always kind of stayed in the background. But that was one of the first songs that I wrote, and I still remember it to this day. And, it's just an opportunity to continue to grow. So I look at kind of my growth from that song to where I am today. Definitely have made a lot of leaps and bounds, but I love writing that. I mean, it's just something that's in me. I give all credit to the Most High because I truly feel like He is the Holy Spirit. It comes over me, and I'm able to write these things that He wants manifested, into reality. And I'm thankful for it. Sometimes I think back and I'm like, I don't even remember me doing all this stuff, but it's happened.
That's because he takes over. When he
That's
takes
right.
over, you don't remember.
That's
you
right.
just see the
Yeah,
manifestation
you're right.
of it.
That's
And
right.
then once you see the manifestation of it, you be like, oh wow. And then you be like, but he used me as
Yes.
that vessel
That's
to
right.
do it. Because
That's right.
he can take over and you can be right, not even looking, and that's just him just
That's right.
moving within the flow of your hand.
Absolutely.
And you
That's
sit back and
awesome.
think, I did that? I didn't do that.
Exactly.
That literally.
hmm
I've done that a
Exactly.
few times. I'm like, did I just write that? Man.
So,
Yeah.
so would you ever think about rewriting that song to say, okay, here's the skills I have today. I can go back and get that song and rewrite it
Yeah. I think
within
I
my
could.
skills that I could. I mean, but do you ever actually go back and do that, or you just leave it be?
You know what? I would actually say I don't touch them because I feel like at that moment in time, that's what He gave me to put out. And so I don't want to try to redo something that He had already perfected in His eyes for me to do. So I'm always waiting and reading to find out what it is that He wants me to talk about next.
Right. So how does that neo soul and gospel, how does that mix?
Yeah, I think honestly, I just think it's in me, just from, like I said, my upbringing and all the music I used to listen to. I love listening to various artists. Whether on the, like I said, with R&B. So I love listening to Mary J. Blige. Lauryn Hill is probably one of my absolute favorites
Mm.
of all time. From a secular standpoint, and then from on the spiritual side, I love the Clark sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Love the range, and then I think about when you say neo soul, like a Angie Stone,
Mm-hmm.
so just some of those folks I listened to a lot when I was, again, kind of growing up and starting to put the pen to the pad, and then also obviously from a church angle, just listening to some of those great artists as well, and just being able to kind of infuse the two. I think that's a happy space that I'm in. I'm not necessarily on one side or the other, but I try to
Mm-hmm.
merge the two to make my own unique sound.
Do,
I love it.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I love it. I love her. I love her sound. I
Thank
sit
you.
in here and I just listen and just kind of like jam while I'm working.
Yeah,
And
you
listen
could you
listen
could
to her
turn up for the
music.
Most
Mm-hmm.
High.
Yeah, yeah. You can just just get turned up, like because it takes you into the presence of God. I
Yes.
mean, you're there, and it's almost like a calm, poetic. You just want to snap your fingers, and then you just want to go to church. you know,
All of that.
you just want all of it, all of it in one song. It's right
Yes. Thank
Do,
you.
do you ever get any because back in the history of music,
Mhm.
you get this gospel and you know uh, a Ray Charles or something will mix his blues his into the music or his rock and roll or something like that into gospel. Do you ever get that type of kind of pushback from the quote unquote Bible Belt of the South?
That's a good way to say it. Actually, it's been very supportive. I think because of the message, right? I mean, we can sing over anything, but it's really about what
Hmm.
we're singing about. And I think because everything that I'm singing about has to do with God, has to do with the Most High, I haven't really seen any negativity coming from the Bible Belt of the South, if you will. I've seen nothing but support, and I think
Hmm.
that's why I love the South, and I love all of the U.S. Obviously, I get support from all over, but I can definitely say it's truly because of the message that's being said, and literally from my first song, which is going on the CD, to the end with "They Don't Know," I'm telling a story throughout that whole process.
Wow.
With every single song, you'll see it's kind of a journey in also my spiritual growth, and then more so to reach those that are kind of on that same journey with me.
So the sneak preview is you have to listen to 1 to 10 or how many other songs on there. The sneak preview is you got to start at 1. You can't
That's
start
right.
at 5.
You can't start at 5. You've got to start at 1 and end at 12.
Mm.
She didn't do an EP. She
No,
didn't
Mm.
do 5 songs. She did a
Have you?
full album.
whole album written by
Oh,
myself.
right. Have you seen that done before? Have you seen something like that done before? I know we see it in movies or in TV shows that we look at that you can't look at one show and then skip to the fifth show. You got to look at one because one takes you to the other. Have you
Right.
seen that done before? Because I've never heard that done before.
No, to be honest, and I think it was just more so again me praying and asking the Most High to help me kind of tell this story. Because, like I said,
Hmm.
each song can relate to somebody, but again, it was also my personal journey too. So I
Hmm.
really did. I wanted to take everybody on a journey with me from,
Wow.
like I said, the first song to the last song, so you can truly get a great understanding of what I was going through at the time when I originally started writing those songs as well.
So so do we call these episodes and not songs?
I like that episode. Actually, I like that.
You,
I
you,
like that. Yes, we can.
oh, because when you hear it, so you've got to get to the next episode,
That's right. You
and
got
they
to.
don't want you to skip. Yeah,
You got to.
yeah. You can have that. That's free.
I'll take it.
Trademark that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
That's free.
I'll
So
snatch it.
so once this project is over with, I mean, because in this pandemic that we're in,
Mhm.
um, do you ever think about taking some of the tragedies that we're in today and say, okay, we've got to do something with this? Like the George Floyd thing and the pandemic that we're in, and all the police brutality. Do you think of those and say, okay, how does God manifest itself within what we're going through?
Yes, and it's so funny you say that, because I feel like a lot of the songs that I'm working on right now is in this current climate that we're in. I've got one song that has just been completed. I'm actually on a collaboration with some other rappers that are also focused on the Most High, and it's called Rise of Israel. And it's just talking about our people and the struggles that we've had and how do we overcome those. I've got another a few songs that I've already started writing for my next album. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Ooh, okay.
That are fire. But again, they're based off my experiences, right? I feel like if you cannot write about what you're going through, you're
Right.
not being real, you're not being 100%, nobody's going to believe you. If you're just being told what to do versus waiting on God to allow you to, experience whatever it is that He has for you to experience, so that way you can share it. So yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I'm actually writing a lot of songs about what we're dealing with right now. Absolutely.
Wow.
So more to come with that.
Well, I don't want to open the veil. Go ahead, Tamika V.
What you talking about? You don't want to open the veil. Right.
Well,
Because guess what? Because when she's done on that next album, we're gonna get it. I'm gonna be on the phone and be like,
my
sis, I need your music.
I'm definitely working on it now. So yeah, second album is in process.
well,
Awesome.
my question is, as an artist, I know a lot of your, what you get paid or how you get paid is through your concerts or whatever. Within what we're in, how do you manage that?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting you say that, because for me, I'm not doing it for the money. So I think
Okay.
that makes a difference, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
For me, I'm doing it because I'm a messenger of the Most High in the vessel that He is using me, for. And so I don't necessarily look at the streams. I don't look at, obviously from a business perspective, I make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But it's not to a point where I'm, just trying to say, oh my gosh, how am I going to, make this next buck, trying to spread this word. And for some people, and I'm not knocking anybody that, focuses on that, because everybody got to eat. But for me, it's not about that. It's about me being able to impact the world. And I believe because I've been not focused on the money, God has allowed all of these things that have been happening to me in a positive way to happen, because I'm giving Him the glory and it's not about me. I always pray, may He increase and I decrease.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
And do you take these times of just being maybe quarantined or what have you, and say, hey, you know what, I can use this time to write?
Oh yes.
And so now you're like just I hate to use the word spitting out, like a Tupac
that's
type
what I've
thing.
been doing.
Now you're just spitting out.
Spitting out. I think what was it, like 2 weeks ago? I wrote 5 songs in 24 hours. Literally, I was up, going, because as the word was coming, I can't sleep. And I'm the type of person. It's so funny. My husband would be like, half time, I don't even know what you're doing, because I start off with melodies. And then I work from melodies to, I kind of break down the song structure. And then from there, I start putting in the actual, words or scriptures or whatever the case may be. And I'll be around there humming or making notes and things of that nature. And he's like, what are you doing? And then once he hears the final thing, he's like, man, so that's what you were doing. But yeah, that's me, especially during this time. And I'm so thankful and grateful for this time. I know a lot of people may look at it as a negative thing, but I look at it as a way for me to get closer to the Most High, and to continue to write, and whatever He wants me to do, I will do.
I think that's the reason. I think that's one of the things that, especially for His people that know, for the ones that are awake and
That's
that
right.
can literally see what this is.
Yes.
Is this is not actually a quote unquote bad thing.
That's
this
right.
is God being able to show Himself, because if it's what they call, the shifts. Right now, this is the shift into destiny.
Yes.
And last year, what He had to do was He had to begin waking people up.
That's
so
right.
He started waking people up and getting them prepared for this. Now, we didn't think of 2020. We're all excited going into 2020, but we didn't know the calamity that was going to come.
That's right.
But when that calamity hit, we felt it on the human side, that 1%.
That's right.
Only for a second, but then we knew exactly how to switch and go
Mm-hmm.
directly into the spirit with it and know
Definitely.
that this is not a dark time.
No, it's not.
This is actually the best time for him to show himself.
That's
So
right.
he's taking all of us, and the creative juices are just boom, 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 boom. They're flying
Absolutely.
out because we have to reach the nations. And that was his word, is
That's
that
right.
we had to reach the nations.
That's
And
right.
this is the way that he was going to do it.
He said, hey,
So
I'm gonna shut
I'm
down the
just like you.
sports. I'm gonna shut down everything because I need you guys to focus on me.
That's it.
Oh, you had to say sports, huh?
I'm sorry, I'm a sports
Sorry.
fan too. I'm a sports fan too, but hey, he had to go ahead and put the smack down.
Me too. Look, I love me some football.
Okay.
So it's just like, whew. But yes, but he had to get everybody's attention. So he didn't shut the nation, but he shut the world down.
The world
Yeah.
down.
He shut the world. So
That's right.
he's using us in our ministries. And
That's
that's one thing is the world, what the world can give, that income is not our source
That's
of
right.
Right.
income. He's
Mhm.
our source of income. And
Yep.
and he's gonna make sure, I mean, think about it. None of us have lacked.
That's right. That's
We haven't
100%
lacked.
correct.
He is completely taking care of us. While we take care of his business, he's taking care of us.
That's
And
right.
he's,
Well, I hadn't got my nails done yet, so I'm lacking.
you know what? I haven't got mine done either, but that's
Mine
quite
Okay,
all
so
right. It's quite all right.
That's
We are
good.
good. So what was some of the best advice that was given to you in the industry and
Mhm.
outside of the industry?
Yeah, I would say some of the best advice I've gotten in the industry is do not wear your heart on your sleeve.
Mhm.
Because you might think all of your stuff is the bomb, but there might be some naysayers out there.
Mhm.
So
Right.
being able to stay strong and still be positive and still confident in what you are tasked to do. I would say outside the industry, I think the biggest advice I've gotten was just to make sure that I don't lose sight of what it is I'm doing. Because, there's lots of distractions around here, lots of
Yes.
distractions that can keep you focused on different things and not what you're destined to do. So I think that's the best advice I've gotten from a few folks, whether they are in the industry or outside of the industry, that I've truly kept that in mind as I'm going on this journey.
I'm gonna ask you a question. It's way out of left field, but tell us about your husband's support of what you
Oh
do.
gosh, yes. Oh
Oh,
yes.
that's awesome.
Yes, he's fantastic. So Pastor Johnny with the Multitude of Christ Ministry, we're based in Richardson, Texas.
Shameless
But
plug.
whoop, whoop, shameless plug, had to do it, had to do it. But let me tell you what my husband did. So this was probably about, I would say 10, 12 years ago. Uh, he signed me up for a contest at, I think it was Disney World or something like that. We had went there for a family trip, and it was some type of karaoke thing. And I was frightened to sing in front of lots of people. Like I can sing in front of a few people, but to be able to sing in front of 500, 600 people, I was scared to death. And he told me, he said, you have to do this. He said, in order for you to get over this fear of singing in front of people,
Mhm.
you got to do it. And so I did it. And, from there, it just kind of sparked me wanting to continue to sing and continue to write. And then, kind of fast forwarded to, I would say about 5 years ago, my husband all of a sudden walked in the house with all of this music equipment. And I'm like, what you doing?
Wow.
He said, I'm tired of you sitting on your hands. It is time for you to do what the Most High has given for you to do. And I said, you know what? You're right. I was nervous. But, at that time I said, okay, I've been writing all these songs. I've been in choirs. I've directed things before, and I'm not doing it to the potential that I know he has for me. And so at that moment, literally in that moment in my living room, when I saw all this stuff coming in, I said, it just got real. It just got real.
It's time.
You
Yeah.
had to let
It's
go.
time. I had to let go. I had to let go. And I am so thankful. He has been there every step of the way for me, even on the business side of things, just learning and getting getting himself up to par with kind of what the music industry involves, and just his total support.
Mhm.
Without him and my producer, like I said, Silver Dollar Beats, because he also believed in me too. He was giving me nudges without me even knowing it. He would just say,
Mhm.
hey, I got this track. I'm like, oh, let me listen to it. Let me see. And so between him and my husband tag teaming, literally, it got me to the point where by 2017, I was ready to start writing my album. And then, like I said, it was about a year process of writing. I probably wrote about 30 songs, came down to 12, to decide what was going to actually be on the album. And then, by last summer, is when we initially kicked it off. So it's been great. My husband has been wonderful. I'm so thankful for him and all of the support, just in everything that he has done for me to help me get to this point as well.
That's awesome. And
He's
now
fantastic.
we got three category nominations.
Yes.
August 2020. August 2020.
Yes.
You're never gonna bring you back, and I'm gonna be like, "How we doing?"
I'm praying for a win. I'm praying for a win. So just to let everybody know too, so I'm nominated in 3 categories: USA Rising Star of the Year, USA Album of the Year, which I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And then USA Emerging Talent. So those are the top 3. And this is kind of like the, if we could try to, I guess, kind of equate it to Grammys and things of that nature, this is it for independent artists. It's like one of the biggest organizations internationally. So it's huge. So I'm extremely honored, extremely humble for this opportunity. And I also want to give ISSA a shout out. Thank you guys for all the support and believing in me as well.
So is there a mindset of going to a national recording label, or are you going to stay independent?
That's a good question. But for me, I like the space of creativity. And to be able to do what I want to do according to his will. So I think for me, I would prefer to stay in the independent area or space, just because I do have the freedom. If there's something that I feel like I need to write, like you said earlier about things that are going on in the world today, I don't want to be censored in what I can and cannot say. I want to have the flexibility and the freedom to be able to do that at all times.
Right. And then you can market it the way you want to market it, and then you can have it pushed out the way you want to have it pushed out.
Yes, that's right.
So, yeah.
You got it.
While you're, I think about a lot of this stuff while you're doing that right there. You've got to have a business team that you sit down with on a consistent basis. When you're sitting down with your business team, how much does God control that, or do you allow the business team and then you say, okay, God, let's see how this works out or not?
Oh no, it's all him. 100%. 100%. We pray, we wait, we look at what opportunities come my way, and then we make a decision on, is this the best representation of La La Music, which is, the representation of my husband, which is the representation of Christ, right? I'm just talking about the order. I'm sure you guys know about that.
Amen.
The hierarchy.
Yep, the hierarchy. That's right. So, like I said, we everything that I do is scripturally based, and I'm always including the Most High. So, like I said, from a business perspective, yes, I've had people approach me to want to do certain collaborations and things of that nature, but I do my research, and I just want to make sure that it aligns with my message and what I'm trying to do. Because what I don't want to happen is for me to veer off and start doing things that would not be according to the Most High. And then all these blessings that he's been bestowing upon me disappear and dry up. So, I fear the Most High. And so I just want to stay obedient at all times.
Amen.
Hey, and that's a healthy fear.
That's right.
Yeah.
Healthy fear.
That is a healthy fear. As we continue to move forward, I want to kind of wrap this up, but I do want to ask you a couple more questions about when did you decide, what, God is the answer? Do you remember?
Actually, I do. I would say I was 6 years old. I'll never forget this. I was at church, and I saw somebody, an older lady, she just started crying. And I felt it, I felt the presence of the Most High, and from that point on, I knew that he was real. And specifically for me, I had a situation back when I was so young. I think I was in 2nd grade, and girl, I was struggling with that math. Okay. Struggling. And I
Still
literally
struggling.
Not my favorite place.
struggling, cried out. I cried out to God and I said, please, please, please help me understand this. Help me understand this so I can do better. And I kid you not only did I do better, I was a straight A student from that time until I graduated from high school,
Oh,
4.0.
wow.
So I know he's
Wow.
real. Anything that I ask for and pray for because of obedience, I
Mhm.
receive it. And I'm boldly saying that because it has happened every single time. And it's because
Mhm.
of the fact that I believe not only in faith by believing, but also in action. I do what it is that is required of me according to his will.
Right.
Amen. Ah, she got my spirit all like I'm just
Hey,
woo.
I
So
love the
so
Lord.
so at 6 years old,
Yes.
you go through this motion, but
Hmm.
you're were you still listening to secular music, or did you still listen to secular music? Well,
Oh
I
yeah,
guess you did, because
yeah, I
Mary J.
did. Yeah,
Blige.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've listened to secular music all my life. Like I said, and I watch what I listen to. Right? I'm not listening to
Mm-hmm.
anything that's going to be degrading to women or men or whatever the case may be. It
Mhm.
still has to be a message there.
Right.
In some way, form, or fashion. But yeah, that's a heavy influence on how I sing today.
So was there a pull to say, "Hey, I want to go R&B or gospel"? What was that? Or did you just know this is what I want to do?
Oh, hands down, it was gospel. Hands down. Like I said, I grew up,
Okay.
even in the South when I used to stay with my grandparents in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Shout out to my peeps in Clarksdale. They had us at church every week.
No.
Mhm.
Rain, sleet, or snow. We in there, we singing. And a lot of the music, a lot of my musical skills came from too. When I was younger, one of the churches that I used to attend back when I was at home, they did not use music. So
Mm.
everything that we sang was vocally harmonization. So that's where I learned a lot of those skills as a young girl, being able to listen to the different parts and be able to
Mm.
put everything together. So yeah, I would totally say my upbringing has involved into this, whether it be the gospel side or me listening to secular R&B music, whatever the case may be. But it truly has shaped, kind of my style, as Tamika mentioned earlier. It's definitely an infusion of the two, but the message is clear. It's about
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm. Did,
Amen.
did your music help you understand the word better?
You know what? That's a good point. Yes. And you know why? Because in order to truly get a message out to the people, you have to read those scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
You have
Amen.
to be able to understand those scriptures. So for me, it challenged me to be able to read more because I didn't want it to be my words. I wanted it to be
Mm-hmm.
coming from the Bible, coming from God. And so that literally forced me to be a little bit more diligent in
Mm-hmm.
how I read and what topics I was reading on, and what did I want to communicate to the masses. So yeah, absolutely, I would say the word truly impacted that.
Okay. Um, I tried to. We was trying to play a clip of your music.
Oh yeah.
We was trying to.
Oh,
We're
trying.
still,
Okay.
yeah, we're still trying to. You know, this
Yeah.
pandemic, my computer got the COVID virus.
Uh-oh.
He said the Kovac.
The Kovac.
So my computer got COVID 20. So I'm trying to go through that whole virus scan and everything. But I
I
wanted to
got
try to
you.
play a clip of the music, and if I can, I will. But if I can't, your music will be played on our radio station on a consistent basis in rotation.
That was a beautiful surprise.
So I did get the music. I did download it. I did like. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it.
Thank you.
Um,
That's awesome.
um, and I want to try to get more of these independent artists to play on on the gospel station,
Perfect.
because I think independent artists gives real information and real testimonies.
That's right.
Mhm.
I get to that point. Like I said the other night, you got to go and serve the labels,
That's
and
right.
you don't serve God.
That's right.
And
That's
so,
right.
having said that, what has been your greatest disappointment in this road, and what has been your greatest joy in this road?
Oh man. So I would say my greatest disappointment was the fact that I didn't know if the album was going to get out.
Mm.
It was definitely a stressful time. Probably about 3 months before we were scheduled to release it. Some things had come up on a personal level. And so, I had to literally sit back and pray. And I said, okay, Most High, what are you trying to teach me?
Mm-hmm.
And through that process, I learned it was patience. Because me, I'm like, hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. But with God, timing is everything. And the timing that I had planned for myself, it wasn't it. It was not it. So, and when it came out, it was totally different. Just the love that I got, the different folks that were reaching out to me from a business perspective, about La La Music and what I had to bring. It literally was smooth. It was so flawless that I literally, to this day, I sit back and say, I just don't even know how all of this happened. And I mean, it was just nonstop. As soon as I released the album, just blessings coming from everywhere, whether it be working with artists, whether it be different interviews, performances, you name it. All of it was just flowing aligned because that was his timing. And then I would say, oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
And then I would say, as far as joy, I think the joy for me is my daughter. I have a 3-year-old daughter. And when I tell you she knows every song, and to hear her singing these songs, that was another reason why I wanted to go ahead and step out on faith, is because I wanted to be an inspiration to her so that one day she can look back and say, well, if my mom did this, I know I can do this. In this melanin, in this brown skin, to be able to accomplish something, no matter how hard the struggles are, that is an opportunity, and you just have to believe in yourself and surround yourself with the right people. So that's my greatest joy, is seeing my daughter sing my songs, and she knows them front to back.
Wow. Miss V, you was gonna say something?
No, you go ahead, and then because I think as soon as she started talking about joy, my mind went someplace else. So yeah, no, your turn.
Well, I was going to read a comment we have. One of the comments from Daniel Feimster. He says, "You learn how to listen," and his choir directors, choir teachers, and vocal coaches have always said that's what's most important. Let me ask you about because you can be taught to listen to several different things. How do you know how to listen to the right thing?
Okay, can you repeat that just a little bit? I think you froze up for just a second. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Okay, you can be taught how to listen.
Okay.
But how did you know how to listen to the right thing?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say part of it comes from experience. I think part of it comes from being obedient to God. Like I said, we can always do things ourselves and become a stumbling block, or we can wait and see what it is he has for us. So even for me, I'll hear certain music or certain tracks and I'll say, that's not it. I get producers sending me things all the time, and I'll listen. I'll say, okay, that's not it. And then I'll know it's just something in me. I think, from a musical perspective, and I just know, and I know it's God. Obviously, He has a message for that. I have a friend of mine. Her name is Blessed. She says, he wants his music downloaded. So it's like he has a message. He needs it to come down. He needs it to come down and be distributed among the people, so that's what I listen to. I'll never forget her telling me that. And from that day, I said, man, that makes so much sense. So I've got to be able to not listen to what I want, but listen to what is needed according to God.
You use the word wait a lot often. I've heard you use that word several times.
Wait, come on now.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's the wait.
And we know what we're waiting for.
That's right.
And it's hard to wait. Because you want to grab it right then and there. You got it. You want to grab it right then and there. Tell me the first time you learned to wait.
Ooh, that's a good one. Let's see here. I would have to say this was more on my I could say on the professional side of the music. So, for me, like I said, I learned to wait when it was probably about, I would say 3 years ago. I was ready then. I was like, okay, I'm ready to put this album out. I'm let's go. And, I had to learn that the timing wasn't right. I had to learn that. And I'm a perfectionist. If I set my mind to something, I'm goal driven. I'm going to get it done. Hands down, it's going to happen, and to literally have to sit there and just, I had to wait on the Lord. I like to say, because it wasn't me. I couldn't do it. There was no way I could get it done, by myself or with the folks that I had at that time. And I had to wait on the right people to be sent. And I give all praise and glory to the Most High for that, because I had to wait on the right people, and sure enough, He sent the right people. He sent the right business folks. He sent the right marketing people. He sent the right producer. He sent all the missing pieces to the puzzle that I needed to make this a successful album in His eyes, right? Not according to the world, but in His eyes.
Right.
And so that's when I learned to wait. And from that point on, I said, no more will I try to rush things or make things happen that shouldn't be so at that given time. I need to literally wait on Him to see what it is He has for me. Because me doing it by myself, I could have, stumbled, I could have failed. But when I allow God to take over, He wants all the glory, so it will be successful.
That's where it's at, though, right there, is when God takes over. Because if it's us, then we're just acting in self and acting in carnal.
That's right.
And in carnal, there is no patience. You're going to be impatient. You're going to want to jump out there and do it. And God's just like, that's not what I said.
That's not it.
That's not it. If you get out there and you take that step, you got free will. You get out there and you take that step and you stumble. You can't come back talking about, well, God, I didn't tell you to do it, And so in that process of the wait, that 4-letter word, wait, there is a process of patience, of faith, of you have all those things that are wrapped up in believing and knowing that it's going to happen, and not being D-I-S, distracted.
That's right.
By the biz, not being distracted, because in those 4-letter words, all that can happen. And when that distraction comes and you acting on yourself, there goes the blessing. It's like out the window. You just missed it.
Bye-bye.
But you know what WAIT stands for? Watch as I teach.
You get snaps on that.
Yeah. Okay. Amen.
I like that.
You need to post that. You need to post that put that on the post, like, so everybody can get that, because that was a word.
I love that. Repeat that.
We'll go and love it.
So not watching. I was saying, watch as I teach.
I love it.
That is how you spell wait, right? I just make sure I spell it right. Wait, right.
Yeah, you get it. You got it.
I'm posting that. I'm snatching that one too.
Me too. I'm on hashtag that.
I'm hashtagging that.
Okay.
I already gave you a free one. You can't have 2 free ones.
We're family now. We're family now.
That's gonna be a 411. That's gonna be a 411 radio network affirmation.
That's right.
Hashtag watch. Watch as I teach.
Watch as I teach. I love it.
That's going up tonight.
I know it is. I know it is.
Okay.
Okay, so give us some final thoughts that you have as far as what do you think the end goal is? And it's not going to be an end goal. It may be a goal that what's the next goal besides the next album that you're coming out with? What is a goal?
Yes. So I'm glad you asked that question.
As let's say you 10. Yeah.
I got you.
Go ahead.
So goal for me, and this is kind of funny you mentioned this. I daydream a lot, but daydreaming about an opportunity to write music for a movie. I think that's a goal that I would love to have, is to actually write a score, write a song specifically for a movie that obviously is glorifying the Most High. But that's a huge goal of mine down the road. I would love to do that. I would say for me also is to be able to teach others. I like how you use that weight. Another goal of mine is to be able to teach others how to write and how to truly pull it from the spirit. To be able to teach other artists who are coming up how to do this and how to do it in a way that you are still yourself. To be able to mentor other folks, young people, it doesn't matter what age, but being able to mentor others on this journey as an independent artist. And, my ultimate goal is to make it into the kingdom. Okay. So that's more the worldly stuff. But my ultimate goal obviously is to be able to make it into the kingdom and hear that job well done, thy good and faithful servant. Because I did wait. I was patient and I did all that he asked of me to do.
Amen.
Well, that's always the ultimate goal.
That's right.
If you're a true believer.
That's right.
If
That's
you're
right.
not, there are other goals that's in this world that you don't want to have to deal with. I didn't want to be in the world, not of the world.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right. I've got a song about that. It's called "Won't Conform Me."
Oh, that's a
Okay.
good one. That's a good one.
Yes,
So, last thoughts about what's going on now, because we always got to talk about the George Floyd
of course.
and we can wrap this up by talking about that. And tell me, what have you learned from watching everything that's going on? And about not just the protest, but the people that are coming out and saying, "Okay, we're standing with you guys." The
Hmm.
police officers that are coming out and saying, "We're standing with you." Tell me what you've learned about that and how you seen God's hand over that whole thing.
Absolutely. So I would say, I've definitely seen a lot of, post and communication about the situation. Obviously, it's a sad one and one that's happened too
Hmm.
many times before. But I would say, for the folks that are listening, we really have to turn back to the Most High.
Hmm.
I feel like, we can march, we can do all of these things, but we're not calling on the person that can change people's hearts,
Right.
Hmm.
change people's minds, change how we treat each other. Whether it be our neighbor or someone that's not of our ethnicity, whatever the case may be. It's really about us being able to be obedient, and fall under His will. I think
Hmm.
if we all can just kind of take a step back and pause. There's a lot of
Hmm.
negativity, coming with this as well, whether it be, from, African Americans, aka
Hmm.
Black, or whatever we want to call them, and then also Caucasians, etc. I mean, I'm seeing it from my Native American, friends, Hispanics, you name it. Everybody's on fire right now, and I understand why. Right? Someone lost their life due to something that didn't have to happen. But at the
Hmm.
same time, we need to look at these situations because they keep happening. And when are we, as chosen people, as a people of God, going to repent and ask for forgiveness, so that way He can remove this burden, this yoke off
Hmm.
our backs? And the only way that can happen is from us being obedient.
Right.
And so for me, it's really about making sure that I'm spreading a positive message for my brothers and out here, and my sisters out here. We have to maintain our dignity as a
Hmm.
people, as a nation. There's other ways to skin a cat. I like to say we need to look at it from a financial standpoint. We need to support Black businesses. And there's lots of them out there.
Hmm.
That's how you get a voice. That's how you get a seat at the table.
Hmm.
Yes, like I said, the politics and the protesting and things. Yeah, that's just natural. These things are going to happen when people are upset. But we need to take a step back and think about how do we organize as a nation, as a people, and how do we continue to grow and develop businesses within our own community to support our community, so we get to the point that we don't have these types of things happening. We have control over. We're running our own, our own communities. We have people in office that look like us that can help make sure that these things are not happening. So those are the things that we need to be looking at: is how do we continue to elevate ourselves and our people, to ensure that we have an equal playing ground, because right now we don't. And I'll just say that from a personal standpoint. But at the same time, what are we doing as a people to help get there? They're not going
Hmm.
to pull us up by the bootstrap. That's just not going to happen. We've been dealing with this
Right.
for over 400 years. We have to do it for ourselves.
Right. Miss V, I'm gonna give you the word, and I'll wrap it up because I had something based off of what you're saying. So I'm taking everybody's stuff and rolling with it.
Yes.
Well, I most definitely agree with her. We have been oppressed for over 400 years. I think it is time now, especially in the day that we're in right now. We are free and we are able to
Hmm.
not lay down and take it, but
That's
through
right.
God, it all things are possible.
That's right.
I most definitely agree with you about taking a step back. And in my mind, I see, like a lot of us coming together and just screaming out, I am that I am, that He's going to bring peace,
Woo!
and
Hallelujah.
just let the world just quiet down, because there's so many people across the world just coming together in one chant, almost just calling him,
Hmm.
calling him down
Yes.
to take over.
Yes.
I truly believe, I posted something on my Facebook page. There was a pastor named Dana Stevens, his video came to me, and as I'm sitting there looking at the video, tears are just streaming down my face, because he stood up to take responsibility for his white brothers and sisters, and the to apologize. And then I saw another video on his page where all of them that were white were kneeling down to all of our brothers and sisters that were black, and praying to God and asking for forgiveness and pointing to them. And the woman was just breaking down. I'm over here breaking down because we can be unified. We can be united as one. The only way that it's going to be done is through God, though. It's not going to be done through fighting. It's not going to be done through arguing. It's not going to be done through a dictatorship. It's going to be done through God.
That's right. That's right.
And it's all about ushering God in, and not being of the world and in this world and acting like the world.
That's right.
But it's time for the spiritual kingdom to completely take over. And that's all colors, all nationalities, all races coming together as one, because at the end of the day, we all bleed the same color blood that's going to be coming out of our veins. That's it. And that's just it. It's all about God and coming together. So, it's senseless that this young man had to die.
Yes. Yes.
And and it was just like one of our own had his life was taken, but in the midst of his life being taken, even though the entire world, I saw a live today in London. London was marching. This has impacted the world.
Yes, it has.
And the world is tired. But in that tired, let's come from a positive perspective of how we can honor this young man.
That's right.
And honor what has taken place, because it's time that we now unify, and that's what is being caused. But let's do it in a different light.
That's right.
Let's do it in a way that his spirit can see, okay, this has brought the world together. Through God, and it all happened that way. Absolutely. So, Absolutely. I agree. We need to come together spiritually. We need to come together through Christ. We need to let God have his way, because at the end of the day, this whole thing, if y'all notice, the whole COVID situation just went straight out the door.
COVID
Nobody cared. they don't care about, COVID who? Like what? Yeah. What? Oh, wait, did you say I just touched the really? Oh, didn't even think about it, because I'm trying to fight for what's right.
That's right.
In our reality, I believe that in the midst of wanting to fight for what's right, that's coming peacefully, the ones that are coming peacefully, that are coming in a positive way, that are coming through Christ, nothing's going to happen. We know that God is protecting.
Hedge of protection. That's right.
But at the end of the day, COVID went out the window. I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I guess y'all forgot that, COVID.
There's a pandemic going on.
Yeah, there's a huge pandemic. Everybody's sitting there right together.
Right there together. I was like, well.
Exactly. So,
but I think that proves a point, too, that at the end of the day, we're all human.
Exactly.
And the fact that we see something wrong, people are going to stand up. Bottom line, that's at the end of the day, because if nobody did, we would be extremely desensitized. And I would pray that would never get to a point in the world where our people would be like that. So I definitely think that the Most High Spirit is moving. That we just have to be waiting and being patient and listen to what it is he has for us to do. But like I said, at the end of the day, I strongly believe in the fact that we have to be obedient and follow, his requirements, his commandments, so that way we are able to see the kingdom one day.
That's it.
There comes a time when you have to really see the hand of God. And if you go back to our biblical days, Babylon got spread by the hand of God.
That's
because
right.
they thought they can go get to God, and God, you don't have to come down to us. We're going to build a tower to you. So I'm going to spread you. So that's why the different languages came around.
That's correct. Yep.
This is one of these times where God is saying, let me show y'all what I'm ready to do. Let me first bring in COVID. So now y'all got to sit down and shut up. So now let me bring this about. This whole situation about. So now you got to sit down and shut up with silence, and then you got to protect yourself while you sit down and shut up, because I'm finna speak again. It's gonna be one more.
Oh yeah,
We need to
hands
wait. We
down,
need to
Yeah.
watch. There's going to be
hands
one more.
down.
But one thing,
There's supposed to
one
be another one
one
coming in
thing.
about 10 years.
What? No, 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 no. Oh no. Oh no. God ain't gonna wait that long. Because
No, oh no, oh
he's
no.
got a message.
He got a
Oh
So
message.
yeah, he
if
does.
if if we're not ready for him, he don't care,
That's right.
because
That's
God is
right.
God. God is God alone by himself.
All
That's
praise
right.
to Yahweh.
So
Hallelujah.
what I'm saying is, the one thing that we missed in this whole thing is, I saw a video this morning, and George Floyd's daughter was saying, "My daddy saved the world. My
Mm,
daddy saved the world." I think we need to
Jesus.
take that and we utilize that and say, okay, what is she trying to say?
mm-hmm.
Mm.
Out of the mouth of babes. Oh yeah.
Because
That's
guess what?
that's a
Guess what?
direct message.
Jesus died for us.
Mm-hmm.
He saved the world. Noah put his people on a boat.
That's right.
Noah saved. So don't think this is not this is not what we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now it's our time to look at it. And
That's
what do
right.
we do with it? Noah came out and said, "Hey, y'all gonna get on the boat with me, or y'all gonna hang out and get and die in the flood?" You
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
know, there's so many places that we've seen where even the city of Nineveh, when Jonah got sucked in by the whale, he said,
Yeah.
"Okay, go to city of Nineveh. If one of them can get saved, then I'll save everybody else." That's
Yeah,
how God is.
that's right.
And if we don't look at it like that, at what we're talking about, you can talk
Mhm.
about whites, blacks, Hispanics, Chinese, people over in China saying, "Okay, there's a problem. We all need to protest." The world is protesting. The
Yeah,
world had a pandemic. These issues, that's a God thing.
it is.
Yeah.
And if we
It
don't
Hands
is.
look at it
down.
like that, we're all we all failed.
That's right.
So,
I think somebody
uh,
told somebody
Lala,
I saw a video. Somebody looked at it as if that this is the second coming, almost like another Noah's Ark.
Mm. Mm.
it could be,
You
but
Mm.
we
know.
it could be, but you better pay attention.
That's
Okay.
right. You got to pay attention. This
You
is
better
the
pay
Keyword, pay attention.
you better pay attention, because if you don't, you're gonna be lost in the well. You're gonna be lost in the water. You're
That's
gonna be
right.
lost
Mhm.
on the rocks, but you're
That's
gonna be
right.
lost.
That's
That's
right.
it.
So, Lala, I thank you for coming on. We'd like to have you
Absolutely.
on again. When you get ready to drop that album, when you get ready to drop the whole thing, let's
Yes.
talk about before you drop it, and then we're gonna
Okay.
talk about the next day when when it's heard.
Awesome. All
Well,
right.
let's
Sounds like a plan.
where can people find you?
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm
Yes.
on all digital platforms. So you can find me on Spotify. You can find me on Deezer, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play Music, Amazon Music. You can also check me out on my website, which is www.lalamusic.com. I also have a store on there too. You can see my gear, Rock the Lala Music,
Ah,
Uh-oh.
represent. But yeah, check me out. Like I said, the music is inspirational, it's motivational. It's definitely for a time as this, just to help us get through and focus and be able to deal with these daily things that are always coming our way. But I just want to say to everyone, stay focused on God. Stay focused on the God of Israel. I say him by his actual name, which is Yahweh, but I know we use titles, which is fine. But I just want to let everybody know that he is the source and the resource. So just
that's
keep that
it.
in mind. And I pray that all of you have a blessed day.
And you can find
Mm.
her on Foreign Radio Network.
That's
That's
right.
right.
411.
Because
And National Sounds of Gospel too. And because we
Woo!
have an interview coming up on Friday, but I was definitely putting you in rotation on there. I've been
Awesome.
jamming it. So
Thank you. Thank you all so
yes.
much for the love. And again, I appreciate everything.
and I need to ask your permission if I can put you as a part of our directory, our friends on the website.
Absolutely. Yes, you
Okay,
can. You
okay,
have
just
my
making sure.
permission.
Just making sure.
Yes,
Okay,
indeed.
this has been 41 Radio Network. This is the 41 Entertainment Spotlight. Thank you, Lala. Thank you, Tamika V. I'm gonna call you Miss V. I
All
like Miss
right.
V.
I like
Okay.
that.
And then thank those that reached out to us. Daniel Feemster, Shelly. She actually put weight equals watch as I teach. She put that in the comments.
All
I love
right.
it. Awesome. Awesome.
My sister got on here. My daughter got on here. So we've got and these comments keep coming. So
Perfect.
this has been 41 Radio Network on the 41 Entertainment Spotlight. We will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'm ending the meeting, so don't say that after I end the meeting.